Welcome to Topic 2, which will cover report writing, peer-reviewed publication, as well as other types of written, verbal and electronic communication. Before you write your report, see if there's any guidance on what the report should contain. Start with a plan and flesh it out to ensure that you keep a clear structure, and allow time for report writing into your evaluation plan. Also, remember to use version control so that you can keep on top of amendments. This slide runs through an example report outline. The title is important. Remember to put keywords in the title so that it's easily found by others, for example on a Google search. The executive summary should be short and succinct. Try and stick to about 200 to 300 words, and it's a good idea to write this last when you've got a clearer idea of what the key information is. The background is a summary of existing knowledge which contextualises your findings. It can include intelligence from other areas, previous evaluations, or the grey and research literature more widely, depending on what's known on the topic already. The background should lead into the aims and objectives of the evaluation, and as covered in blocks 1 and 2, you should be clear on these from the start. Your methods should be detailed enough for others to be able to understand the steps taken to generate the results. And when writing the results, simply present the findings. Do not try and interpret or comment on them here. As a guide to structuring your results, it can be helpful to follow the structure of the aims and objectives previously laid out, and this allows readers to more easily follow and contextualise the findings. A discussion section which goes into more detail about the meaning of and how to interpret results should follow. It's useful to identify how the findings relate to what's already known, what are the implications locally or more broadly if relevant, and what are the limitations of your evaluation study. When writing the conclusions, briefly restate the main findings but keep it short and don't introduce any new ideas. Clearly link your findings back to the aims and objectives of the evaluation to focus the reader on the relevance of the results. Recommendations should be specific, realistic and actionable. Your report structure might vary slightly, but keeping a clear and recognisable structure helps readers find what they're looking for, and information is in a place where they expect to find it. Throughout the report, keep signposting the reader so they don't get lost along the way, and remind them what they're reading is relevant to the overall evaluation. Do, however, keep in mind that many will only read the executive summary and recommendations. An evaluation's ultimate goal is not to have a final report, but to share information that someone or some entity can use to make a decision or to take action. Deciding whether or not to try and publish your findings in a peer-reviewed publication, such as an academic journal, may involve weighing up the pros and cons of doing so. While it might seem like a desirable objective, it is a resource-intensive task. On submission of your article to a journal, if it's not rejected straight away, and this can take a few days to a few weeks, it will be sent out for peer review. And this process can be very lengthy, usually several months. There may be several authors of the paper who will all need to agree on a final manuscript to be submitted. It may also need to involve people with several different types of expertise, for example to carry out appropriate statistical analyses and interpretation. Lastly, writing for peer review exposes you to criticism. Your writing, analysis, methods and conclusions may all be questioned, which can initially be a frustrating or even distressing experience. On the plus side, if your findings are to be written up for peer review, the quality of the projects might be better from the outset, as they are to stand up to external scrutiny. Receiving feedback from peers is a valuable opportunity for reflection and learning, opening up ideas which you'd previously not considered, or helping you to see your findings in a new light. It's also good publicity to have your findings published, and increases the accessibility of your findings to others. If you do decide to go for peer-reviewed publication, ensure that you're clear on what the key message of the paper is. Know what's already out there. Spend time finding a journal with a readership that's right for the article. Follow author instructions to avoid time spent reformatting later. Ensure your methods are clear enough to allow someone else to run a similar evaluation, and don't be surprised if you are rejected first time. Aside from written reports or publications and presentations, Short written communications and media are useful. This can highlight evaluation information, increase interest in the findings, and for public relation purposes. Use graphics, colour and formatting to attract readers. Human interest stories or case studies highlight the experiences of service users to show success and also add a personal touch to your findings. Websites or blogs can reach a broad or targeted audience, while podcasts and videos can facilitate interaction and collaboration with users. And social media can be useful to maintain engagement with stakeholders. Similarly, television or radio media allow you to reach a broad audience.